I think about it, dog, I be cheesing. My whole life I've searched for the meaning. My whole life I've worked for the greening. My whole life I've been plotting and scheming. All my life, swear I've been dreaming. So say, oh, you should take this tip. Make it out the rain, how you get this drip? Say, oh, you should take this tip. Make it out the rain, how you get this drip?
To another episode of Take This Tip Podcast. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Shaun. And today we have a guest, Baldhead.
My baldhead ass.
Nah, dude, this is Reggie.
Go ahead, introduce yourself, brother.
I don't want sandwich between y'all big ass niggas. Reggie, local Negro, co-worker, friend. Here to support y'all, man. I'm happy to see y'all doing y'all work.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna jump right in. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm a nurse, work in emergency. Been doing it damn near a decade, like creeping up on me. Yeah, just grew up in Inglewood. Didn't really know a plan. Section 8 baby. Actually, my best friend mom was a nurse. You know those Africans. Like she was like, "Hey, be a nurse, Reggie." Took me a while to actually start to listen to her. Went to nursing school, got my master's. Cool little career, travel, look fresh, you know, good little time.
You had to throw that little fresh comment in there.
I mean, I didn't have to. It was already not obvious, but you know.
You covered your chest for the people.
I give the people what they want.
Say so. All right, brother. So if not nursing, what would you have done? What career?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, when I was 19, I started working full time. I was working at the post office. I mean, it's a great salary, but you know, at 19, making $50,000 a year, I was all like, God damn, I can't live off this. Not the way I want to live.
Got tired of fucking the aunties, yeah, okay.
At that time, I didn't know that I could probably make a career out of that. But actually, I don't know. I mean, nursing, something fun, something exciting. There's so many different avenues I can go into. So yeah, it worked out for the best.
That's what's up.
Was there ever a time where you got like discouraged, like where you wanted to be like, you know what? I don't think this going work for me. Like I don't think I'm fit for this. You know?
Me, once I make my mind up, I'm all in. Once I started, I knew I was going to go down the road of nursing. Made choices where I'm like, okay, I'm going to school part-time. I mean, going to work part-time, then actually eventually just quit my job so I could just focus on school. At that point, there was no turning back. Like, it was all or nothing.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
For sure. So if you had to give someone advice that's pursuing a career in nursing, what advice would you give someone?
Shit's going to be hard. Just put your head down and get through it. I mean, somebody told me one day, it was all like, hey, the day eventually got to end.
I like that.
Yeah, school gonna be hard, nurse school gonna be hard. When you finally get inside, the hospital is gonna be overwhelming at times, but at the end of the day, it is a rewarding career. I only work 3 days a week. I get paid a good salary. I do see some nasty ass shit.
Yeah.
But,
yesterday was one of them for me.
it's almost damn near every day, but you know.
You look in the mirror, I mean, cut that damn chest hair. You all right?
Hey, you really bothered by the chest hair. Probably because you can't grow it.
Come back. Okay.
Maybe I could cut some off. You can put it on your damn face. I know you can't grow no beard.
Yeah, that's why I still look good.
Yeah.
That's all right. But so I'm gonna go off from like nursing. I don't want to talk the whole episode about nursing. So let's say, for example, if you were sitting with someone you don't even know, right, and they're struggling with just trying to get started. They don't know their purpose. They don't know what they want to do. What advice would you give them?
There has to be a purpose. I mean, one thing you just said, like, they don't know their purpose. Like, you have to have a purpose. Like, what is your reason of going forward? Like, are you doing it for family? Are you doing it for yourself? You have a kid? Do you, like, want a Tesla, a Beamer, whatever the case may be? Like, what is your purpose? And then after you find out what that purpose is, build that roadmap. Like, hey, I want to make $100,000 a year. You know you ain't going to make $100,000 a year, generally, for the most part, being a teacher or being other things. Like, what you want to do. And once you figure that out, putting your head down and not taking no for an answer. That's my whole mindset. Like, there's my whole life there been roadblocks in front of me. What do I want to do? Stop or break through them? That's always been my thought process. People make a lot of excuses. I ain't about those excuses.
Can you tell me about a time or a challenge that you can just think of? I know you got a lot of thoughts in that big ass head, but if you can give me just one example, one challenge that you endured and you overcame.
Well, outside of trying to look around your big ass sometimes. I don't know. I mean, growing up, single mom, Section 8, money was always an issue. So, again, when I was 19, my mom got sick. She couldn't work. Grandfather was on hospice. She was living with us. She was taking care of him full time, and I had to get a full-time job. 19, I used to work 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Hated that shit. My off days used to be Monday, Wednesday, and on Monday and Wednesday is when I went to school. So I had no life for years. That shit just made me unhappy. Like I was with this girl who worked with me, and it was just like I felt like an old ass man. I felt like I was 50.
Is that when your hair started to fall out?
Question. If you could, what would you tell the younger you like as far as like motivational wise, like, you know, what would you change about like?
Unlike Nick, exercise, but hey, one of my strongest things I have is the people around me. Like every single one of my, like, again, you got to choose your tribe. Who's around you? Who's gonna motivate you? All my friends are very successful, especially to be black men coming from Inglewood. You know, people fall through. You know, people that you grew up with as a child, you might have went to high school with them. Like they start taking different paths. I moved to Inglewood when I was 5th grade. First person I met in Inglewood, he over there got stabbed around the corner and died. Like when I was like in high school. I mean, we all got them stories. Other people we know got them stories. Yeah. Again, if I would have kept on kicking with them, maybe I would have been with them that day. I don't know. Yeah. But at a very young age, I started picking and choosing who I need to show shade in my life, and in the grand scheme of things, it's paid off. Like my friends, we motivate each other. Like, oh, you making some money? Let me start making some money. Oh, you about to go on this trip? Let me start stacking some bread so I can go on this trip. That's the main thing. Like, pick your tribe, pick the woman who you with. Like, don't be just sticking your dick in any girl. Like,
talk heavy.
At the end of the day, like that girl gonna become a bill. She gonna become a bill. What she produces is gonna become a bill, and they all gonna be looking at you like, what's next?
So you gotta have what you saying is have a plan before the plan.
I mean, even if you don't have a plan, at least have a blueprint.
Yeah.
Like what's not gonna work? Yeah. What's not gonna work is just trying to chase shallow shit.
Yeah. And one thing, the reason why I'm appreciative of having you here is because I'm going down the same road. I'm also from Inglewood too. Also kind of have the same, almost exact story. Single mother, 2 kids, 1 bedroom apartment, and pretty much came from nothing, in a sense. And I saw my mom work really hard to make sure that me and my sister, you know, had some type of not leverage, but some type of movement, because, you know, movement is key. You know, you can't just stay in the same spot. And I know me personally, I did that for a long time until I got out my own way. I always say getting out your own way is key in life. Sometimes you be in your own way so much, you be trying to figure out, why do I keep falling in the same hole? Well, maybe if you get out your own way, you'll start to see the hole, or maybe you'll fill up the hole, you know? And like how Nick said in the past podcast, pivot around that motherfucker, you know? Yeah. You know, so I do appreciate you, you know, for, you know, telling your story, because it's motivating to me, because I'm in school for nursing, so, and I know it's not going to be easy, you know? I'm having challenges now, but I'm sticking with it, though, because I know at the end, like, you know, it'll pay off.
What's the alternative? The alternative to be exactly where you at. Yeah. It's easy to fall into that comfort zone. It's easy to be like, I feel safe here.
Yeah.
Feeling safe ain't being happy.
Yeah. And sometimes you fall into that comfort zone because it's keeping the lights on, it's keeping the bills paid to a sense.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be what you want it to be. Like, you know how you said, eventually you knew you wanted more for yourself. You knew that where you were at isn't what you necessarily wanted for you, you know, as, you know, so you can appreciate that, you know.
What steps you taking?
Right now, I'm in school for surgical tech.
Okay.
So that's why I already put my stuff in, got that in motion, paid my final payment. I start in December.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
congratulations,
that.
bro.
Working 2 jobs, you already know that.
Yeah, man,
I'm always working.
You be working like a Jamaican in this
I know.
motherfucker.
And podcasts, I'm just always on the move, man. So just trying not to be complacent. So, I'm saving money.
Are you though?
I am.
All right.
I am.
So serious question. Would you say that it was harder for you to come up in nursing being an African American man?
My nursing class had one black person, and that black person was me. Actually, when I interviewed, the director was all like, "Hey, it doesn't hurt that you a male, and it definitely doesn't hurt that you a black male." So that's one of the few times being black actually worked in my favor. That they needed more black people at the school. I mean, y'all see the hospital. Like, there's not too many people that look around like us around, especially that are nurses. But yeah, I just try to be an example. I mean, humans are humans. I mean, as a black man, I think I represent myself well. I think I have the respect of my coworkers and everyone else around. And yeah, and I'm funny and I'm cute, so that doesn't hurt either. Go ahead, Dick.
Throw up.
Throw up from the truth. All right.
Man, just acting up.
So, do you want to go further than just nursing? Because I know you said you got your master's. Like, do you want to become like eventually like a doctor one day or something like that, or open up your own?
I like nursing. I mean, I love nursing to a degree, but yeah, I do other things. Like, I have real estate. I have a triplex out here in LA. Like, I've flipped homes in Birmingham. Like, I got to a point where at first I was like, hey, this is a good amount of money. Like, but then after that, it wasn't enough. I was like, oh, I want more. I don't know. Like, every couple years, you need to sit down and reevaluate your life. Like, what do I want? And I reevaluated my life a couple years ago. I was like, hey, I want more money. How am I going to do that? Hey, real estate is a good vehicle to get that. So, bought my first house in Birmingham. Had all kind of issues. Dude was doing meth in my house, all kind of stuff. By the end of the day, it still paid off. I made a good chunk of money, and I just kept on flipping that and flipping that and flipping that. Flipped like 7 houses during the pandemic out there, and yeah, I'm not so much looking for nursing as my vehicle to get better, but I am looking at other avenues to always improve myself and like where I'm in life.
What's up? You have any questions for us? Any other questions for us?
What made y'all want to get into this podcast?
So, we were just chopping it up one day. It was me, Shaun, and one of our boys. It's supposed to be 3 of us, and we were just talking one day. Oh, we should start a podcast.
Always that one nigga can't follow through, huh?
Yeah, and we talked about it for a long time, and it just never happened. And Jonathan always stayed on, hey, bro, when we gonna do? Oh, man, he always was just consistent. I was like, bro, like, I always had something else going. I was just putting it off, and then one day I was just like, let's do this shit. So then we just start making moves and and everything just started falling into place. Honestly, it happened way quicker than I would have thought. It would have took us to even just start. But for me personally, I feel like I want to do this podcast, or I enjoy doing this podcast, because I feel like this is me expressing myself. I don't really get the chance to really express myself a lot to people. I'm very private about me. It's only certain people that know about me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is in a way, in a sense, my journal.
Yeah, so for me, what made me want to start the podcast was that, I'm going to be honest, in my head...
The hoes.
No, not the hoes. I always
Look into that camera and say that.
It's not the hoes. Which camera? It's not the hoes. My grandfather always instilled that 6 different incomes will create generational wealth. And he showed that. He had about like, I won't put too much, but he had property in Little Rock, Arkansas. He also had investments in other properties.
So I don't want to do too much. I mean, he was thinking that Coke God.
And he was a hard worker. He worked for a Los Coyotes country club.
Really?
He was in the newspaper and everything. That's what made me want to create an avenue where it wasn't just I was just doing just my brand. I could utilize something else to be able to show who I am as a person. And also wanted my brother to succeed too. You know, that's why I kind of like, hey, Nick, like, let's start the podcast, man. Like, I know we joked around about it, but let's do it. Like, because I always say, get out your own way, and you never know where God will put you until, you know, you say, you know, enough is enough. Just take that leap of faith, and in a couple of months, look where we're at now. This is just a couple of months of us saying, you know what, we're going to do this, and we're going to sit down, think it out, and then once we thought it out, everything just started clicking, you know? And I always say good relationships with people will help you get further, you know? So that's pretty much why I wanted to start a podcast and to also give my testimony, because I know that, like I said, growing up, it wasn't easy, and I know it's a lot of kids out here who go through things, and they may be in situations where they don't know where to go or how to go. And if I can help them, like, hey, I know you're going through this, I've already been through it. If you can, if you see it coming, if you can move around it, do that, you know, but to the best of your ability. But if you can't, here's my little, I call it like a black book, like, you know, you put like numbers in it for women. Yeah. Nah, instead of putting numbers for women, put your life in it. Put your life in it. Put your life in it and share it, you know, and I always say the youth for Raj, you know.
Well, I always did appreciate y'all bond. Did y'all know each other before y'all started working together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and I knew it would connect. I was just like, man, I'm just gonna sit back and watch and wait.
I read this. Well, I sent out this book to like potential people I want to do like business with. Like I saw it on some other book I read. Like you get a book, wrap it up in butcher paper, and send it to them. And it has opened up so many doors for me. The book is called Who Not How, and pretty much finding your who, like Jorge over here. To actually, like, walking up in here, I'm hella impressed. I'm proud of y'all. Actually finding people that are expert in what they do, and so y'all can be experts at what y'all do. Yeah. Be behind the camera, as ugly as y'all are, and do y'all thing.
How many was that? Because I told you that's about 5.
I'm being as quiet as I can. You know?
Yeah, so...
What made you put Nick on your hat, though?
Okay, I got a question for you. Can you tell the people how long it take you to shave your damn head?
I used to have to put a timer on so I can take a little break in between, because my hand be a little bit. It be tired halfway through.
I know, brother. I know.
You wasn't gonna let me have another joke without saying it back.
I knew after that. I said, "Oh, it's coming. It's coming right."
Hey, I've been seeing your hat all day. I was like, "What joke could I make about that hat?"
he out here taking the wardrobe and using it against us. Like,
it's all good, bro. It's all love. Yeah. But man, what was your first impression of us?
I thought John was loud for no damn reason. When he was over there training, I was like, "Why are you so damn loud? You just started." You was just quiet. I didn't know what to. I was like, "Who hurt you?"
Oh, wow.
I remember I tried to talk to you. I remember asked. I was like, "Where you from?" He was all like, "What do you mean where I'm from?" I was like, "I'm not trying to bang on you in the hospital, brother."
I said that.
Yes.
They probably pissed me off a bit.
I was like, "All right." It took me a while to even start talking to you, because he was a little bit unapproachable. Yeah.
I was loud though. Damn. Okay.
A little bit loud.
I'm normally quiet.
But getting to know y'all, y'all some good ass dudes. You know, y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all about 10 years younger than me, around that age.
Keep going.
Get the fuck out of here.
we probably almost the same age.
Only way we're gonna keep on going is waist size.
Yeah, no. But when I first went into the ER, besides seeing Nick, I was like, yes, another brother, finally. I was like, somebody I can talk to.
Hey, you was hoping I was a brother. You was like, man, I hope this dude ain't too like a Oreo.
No. Once I heard you talk to a patient a certain type of way, or somebody, you said something to somebody. I said, okay, that's one. And then I walked over, and then we had a conversation. He was like, yeah, I'm from Inglewood. I said, oh, even better. He from the same city.
Because I was wondering a little bit, because I'm like, okay, I asked him, how long you been here at Torrance? And he thinking like, how long? Like 9 years?
8 years.
8 years?
8 years.
Oh, he been over here in Torrance a little too long. I said, I don't know.
He may be on that get out.
He was the
track.
one. Yeah, he was the one.
We thought they had you.
I don't know how many brothers that came through here, but he the only one I've seen since I've been there. So that stayed. So
well,
that's inspiration.
You've already thrown one lob, so you know.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
So to go back to your previous question, another thing that I want for this podcast, or think that me and Jonathan talked about, if you were to ask us a question, what is this podcast about? Because I think you asked that previous.
Yeah.
And for me, my thing is I want for us to inspire, educate, and have fun. So that's why the people that we're having on the show, much credit to you. You fit that. You know what I'm saying? You're very educated. You present well, and you're someone that a lot of people can look up to.
Yeah.
You know, especially the Baldhead community.
It is a disability.
I know.
I mean, not really, because Low Down Dirty Shame, he didn't have no problems. He got all the women, you know.
First of all,
that was the 90s, right?
Reggie's from the 90s.
I'm the prettiest nigga you know. That's our thing. Secondly, I make this shit look good. But yeah, I mean, I try to be. I mean, I don't know y'all backgrounds too much, but I don't think you grew up with a father.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with a father.
Did you?
Yeah, my mom and dad was there. I grew up in the hood though. I kind of lived all over.
You sound hood adjacent. No.
You don't think so? I present well then. That's why I can always get an interview. Nicholas Howard. They don't know what they about to get. They don't know what they about to get.
As soon as you get the job, you're like, all right, y'all, hey, chill out, calm down.
2 C's.
See?
Always
to the left. He can't never stay right, you know. That's you know.
But I grew up in the hood, so we definitely share similar stories. Just I have both parents there, but obviously, you know, it was a struggle growing up. I talked a little bit about it in previous episodes. And Section 8, same whole deal. You know, I'm never gonna sit here and say that I'm better than anyone. I never forget where I came from.
At all.
I know when I moved from Lancaster when I was about 9, it was rough. It was me and my brothers. So I have 4 older brothers, an older sister and a younger sister. All of us was in the van, sleeping in the van sometimes if we couldn't get a room in time to get back to get a room, to sleep on floors. You know, it was rough. So I had a rough upbringing too, and you know, that's why I have a lot of respect for y'all, because a lot of people just give up and they allow their situation to be the reason why they steer this way. So, Reggie, if you can just leave us with a tip, or just have any advice you would give.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you could look into this camera or this camera.
Tip that I'll leave with you. Be on motivation. Like, you can't try to, even if you have kids or anything else like that, like, you need to be able to wake up in the morning and be like, hey, I'm doing this for me. I'm trying to be the best version of me that I can be. I wake up every single day happy that I'm alive. I look at where I came from, and yeah, this motivates me to be better. I have very vulnerable and open relationships with my friends, girlfriend, whoever. Just being honest and open and vulnerable, trying to be the best version you can be. And at the end of the day, I think that's generally enough. And when you look back, you're like, okay, this is why I'm succeeding.
All right, appreciate that, Baldhead.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of TDT Podcast. I'm the host, Shaun.
I'm Freak Nick.
And this is Baldhead Reggie. We out.
I don't get y'all some diet shakes.
And then
It's the LA baby. Everything happened for a reason. Shit scary, I'm a king like Steven. BMF, I get better every season. When I think about it, dog, I be cheesing. My whole life I've searched for the meaning. My whole life I've worked for the greening. My whole life I've been plotting and scheming. All my life, swear I've been dreaming. So say, oh, you should take this tip. Make it out the rain, how you get this drip? Say, oh, you should take this tip. Make it out the rain, how you get this drip?